Fellas, look what we got here. Pulled over for y'all to get you an updaters on it. I don't get my hands on this truck often anymore, so figured I'll take the opportunity and get you up to speed. She's been doing well, no catastrophic failures. If you guys didn't know, got a brand new turbo. Well, bought it off a guy on Facebook. Yeah, so she has 583.7, so close enough, right? Creeping up to the 600s. If you're new to the channel, go check out previous videos. I've had several of them on this truck. We call this one the OG Limited. Buckle up for safety, fellas. Yep. Well, the receiver's done. I wanted to get you an updaters on her. The engine's hurting, guys. The engine the last transmission that was in here. Oh, I was lied to that tranny did not have the mileage that it did. Given my experience with these transmissions last 5-some thousand miles. I trusted a guy on Facebook. Guy owns a local company. The guy didn't sit right with me. He's an older gentleman, but he's just kind of one of those wannabes, you know what I mean? Wants to look good, wants to look cool. Midlife crisis, dude. Guy's 55 years old, has his hair spiked up, and he's talking like a cool dude. You know, one of them dudes. He's in the industry of, I think, boats or something. Just got this vibe to him, and I was in a pickle, man. I really needed a transmission. I looked at him, I looked at the transmission. He gave me a decent deal. It was, shoot, I can't remember. It wasn't a smoking deal. It was a decent deal. So I bought the transmission, and turned out I was right. The tranny only lasted me 6 months, and then I grenaded it. The transmission that it's in it now was a really low mileage unit. I think it had about 50,000 miles. Why I'm telling you all this, the second transmission that was supposedly low mileage, you know, about 100,000 on it, let go in 5th gear on a hill climb, and this tech, I mean, it shot up at least to 3.5, 3 3/4. It was well in the red. So that's what I started talking to you about. This engine got hurt. It got overspun, and I was the one driving it when that happened. I mean, as soon as tranny let go, it got on the brakes. Got off the accelerator, got on the brakes, and it just spiked up really quick for a split second, came down, and that engine never idled the same. I believe one of the valves got floated, if not a couple. We did end up, it was about that time when we put new valves and push rods in this thing. I suspected a busted valve. We were more experimenting at that point. We just swapped out the springs real quick and push rods. Everything went well for us there, but the engine never ran the same. Somehow that valve is beating itself in, and now the engine runs just fine. It had a couple valve adjustments, so all in all, this engine's hurt. But as far as my knowledge goes, we are just moving around and enjoying life. So that's the only thing I can tell you about this unit. It has the original engine. It's on its 3rd transmission. Technically 2nd decent transmission. The first one went at 500. And then the second one was installed, I think like 530 or 540, something like that. Had a pretty disappointing that people are like that, but go figure, it's Facebook. I think a guy north of 50 would have some integrity, but he didn't. So, I mean, who's to blame? I'm the one buying it, so gotta listen to your gut sometimes. As far as this truck goes, it's still the original engine. I do, when the shop slows down, I do want to pull the head off. You know, just, you know how it goes. We already got springs, push rods. Let's polish up that head a little bit. You know, get it to flow a little bit better. This truck doesn't stop. I got out of it at 550. My regulars know I daily this thing from 500 to 550. I was in between trucks, so let me show you the fuel mileage on her. 1.6. Not the greatest, not the worst mileage, just average mileage. No complaints here. Yeah, so 10 and some change is what this truck lives around. That's fine. 90% of this truck, all it does is tow a loaded gooseneck once in a while. The guys will take it out for a parts run. There's something about this truck. This truck does not sit around, between me, the GM, the shop manager, someone's always, driving this truck around. I wish I could tell you some crazy stories besides the fact that I bought it with 12 miles on it. I ordered this thing from a local dealer. I got it. It's been nothing but a blessing to me. Later on, I actually realized what's going on. I don't know if you guys believe in all the superficial stuff, but the last 3 digits of this VIN number is 777. So should have known from the get-go this one's a keeper. Can't believe at one point I was contemplating on selling this thing. I think it was in 2019 when the 2019s were released. I always have to stay up with the latest trucks because I implement them in my business, and often by the time the OE and the dealership get around to resolving an issue, my units have 300,000-400,000 on them. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, fellas, just wanted to give you an updaters on it. I know some of you guys are really curious, as I said. Let's go over the powertrain real quick so everybody's up to speed. Somehow the rear end's still original. The front axle, the rear axle are original. Transfer case is original. Transmission sits on its third one, given in all reality it should be counted as a second one. Third one, the middle child doesn't count. Engine's still original, but I do have it in my heart to freshen up the head somehow through all the beating and neglect that this truck has taken, because it's been in a couple sets of hands that are just bad drivers as far as neglect. They neglected it pretty bad. So that's the bad part. That's probably about 350 to 450, about 100,000 miles of neglect. It does a big thing, but somehow the block's still in good shape. And what I mean by that, the pistons, or the lower end, the pistons, the rings in the block. And why I say that, seems like it has good compression. Seems like it does not burn oil. Half a quart for 10,000 miles is perfectly. All it does is tow, so I'm not going to consider that as burning oil. But there is a minute usage of oil, and I don't even bother by that because some of my newer trucks in the fleet can do the same thing. Half a quart for 10,000 miles. I'm not even worried about it. Average semi does about a gallon every 10,000 miles, so there you have it. Anyways, fellas, I'm gonna wrap this up. Just does what she does, keeps purring along and serving us well. Because I daily a 2024 Ford 6.7, you definitely, in comparison, you definitely feel the technology and all that being behind schedule. Coming from a 10-speed to a 6-speed. The Ford's far more refined, so for its time, it's a phenomenal truck. 10 years later, yes, there's definitely better trucks out there and more. To answer the question, is there actual gain? Yes, there's gain. This truck does feel a little bit outdated, but I absolutely love it. If my livelihood depended on a truck and I was a one-man show, it would definitely be a Ford Gen. But because I always have to buy new equipment, I have to stay up with the newest stuff. That's just the way I run the company. You know how it is with drivers. Most of them are decent, some of them neglect it, and it costs you a lot of money, but it's just part of doing business, I guess. Alrighty, fellas. As always, may the Lord bless you. May you all a mighty fine day, and let me know in the comment section what you guys want to know about this truck. I have no problem. I could probably get my hands on this truck once a week, once every couple of weeks. Come to the yard, it's at a standstill. Like today, I had to leave my Ford at the yard for a couple hours to take care of business while I'm out here driving this OG Limited. Anyways, fellas, as always, may the Lord bless you. May you all have a mighty fine day. Ciao. Bye.